Around 3000 BC, a small group of people settled beside a spring in the Judean hills, dry, rocky, landlocked, no river, no harbor. 5,000 years later, that settlement is the most contested piece of ground on Earth. Three of the world's major religions claim it as sacred. Empires have collapsed fighting over it. The city has changed hands no fewer than 40 times, and the conflict it generates continues unresolved into the 21st century. That city is Jerusalem. How did this happen? If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel grow. The ancient city, Canaanites, Israelites, and Solomon's Temple. The earliest written record of Jerusalem dates to around 2000 BC, when Egyptian documents reference the city as Rushalimim. It was inhabited by the Canaanites who had walled off a critical water source, the Gihon Spring. By 1500 BC, Jerusalem was a vassal state of the Egyptian New Kingdom. Egyptian dominance fractured in the 12th century BC during the Late Bronze Age collapse. The Israelites captured Jerusalem around 1000 BC, making it the capital of the Kingdom of Israel. Under King Solomon, a grand temple was constructed, cementing the city as the spiritual heart of what would become Judaism. Within a century, the kingdom split, and the southern half, the Kingdom of Judah, kept Jerusalem as its capital for 400 years. In 597 BC, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II besieged the city. A rebellion a decade later brought a fiercer second siege, and in 587 BC, he razed Solomon's temple and exiled the Jewish population. 40 years later, the Achaemenid Persians under Cyrus the Great permitted the exiled Jews to return. In 332 BC, Alexander the Great took the city. The Hasmonean kingdom gave Jerusalem over a century of independence, before Herod the Great seized it as a client king of Rome in 37 BC. Within 30 years, Rome governed Judea directly. Christianity and the fall of the Temple. In the early 1st century CE, Jerusalem held up to 100,000 people. Rome viewed both faiths as threats. In 66 CE, Judea revolted. After a 5-month siege in 70 CE, Roman legions destroyed most of the city and demolished the Second Temple. A revolt in 132 CE was crushed by Emperor Hadrian, who built a temple to Jupiter on the former temple site. Jerusalem became a center of Christian life. Constantine's conversion transformed the city. His mother Helena identified the site of Jesus' crucifixion, and in 335 CE, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was built there. The Byzantine Empire held Jerusalem for nearly 3 centuries. The rise of Islam and an age of tolerance. In 638 CE, the Rashidun Caliphate reached Jerusalem's gates. Caliph Umar accepted its surrender and established religious tolerance, lifting the centuries-old ban on Jewish entry and granting freedom of worship to all. Within decades, the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque were built on the Temple Mount. The Crusades, holy war and massacre. The Fatimid Caliphate imposed restrictions on non-Muslims, and in 1009 Caliph al-Hakim ordered the destruction of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. By 1073, the Seljuk Turks had taken the city. In 1095, Pope Urban II called for holy war. On July 15, 1099, the First Crusade breached Jerusalem's walls. The Kingdom of Jerusalem was declared. In 1187, Saladin defeated the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin and retook Jerusalem. The Third Crusade failed to reclaim it. Crusaders held the city briefly between 1229 and 1244, then were expelled from the Holy Land entirely by 1291. Under the Mamluk Sultanate and later the Ottoman Empire, which took Jerusalem in 1516, the city entered a long period of stability, its Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and Armenian communities coexisting for roughly 3 centuries. The modern conflict, Balfour, partition, and division. By the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was declining. Jewish immigration increased, driven by persecution in Eastern Europe. By 1882, around 25,000 Jewish immigrants had arrived, reshaping the city's demographics. In 1917, British forces captured Jerusalem. That same year, the Balfour Declaration pledged support for a Jewish national home in Palestine, while Britain had also promised the Arabs an independent state for their wartime help. Both could not be honored. Britain administered the territory from 1920, and Jerusalem's population grew from 52,000 to over 165,000 in 25 years. tensions escalated through the 120s, 30s, and 40s. In November 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine, designating Jerusalem as an international zone. The plan failed. Britain withdrew in 1948. Israel declared independence. The Arab-Israeli War followed. When the fighting ended, Jerusalem was divided, the western half under Israeli control, the eastern half, including the Old City, under Jordanian rule. Israel captured East Jerusalem in 1967, a status the international community has never universally recognized. A city without Jerusalem remains at the center of one of history's most enduring conflicts. The competing claims, ancient and modern, religious and political, remain unresolved and continue to shape the fate of a city unlike any other. If this story resonated with you, consider leaving a comment below. We read everyone. And if you want to keep exploring history like this, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. There's a lot more to come.